Hi all, Ellen Woodbridge here, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Australia. Good evening, good early evening. It's just gone 5:05 here on the sunny Central Coast. We had a lovely spring day. Sadly, I was in work, freezing. I always freeze in at the office, but yeah, that's okay. I'm wearing my layers, I had a jacket on, it was all good. So thank you for joining me this evening. I am here to play with, now this doesn't look like much, but this is the magnetic plate for the Stampin' Up! Cut and Emboss machine. So this, I got access, hey Cal, thanks for joining. I've had access to the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine for a whole month, and this became available on the 1st of September at the same time when customers could purchase. Now this is a very thin magnetic sheet, and the whole sheet is magnetic. I haven't used this yet, so this is seriously a first play with you guys. I have a card pre-prepared, so I've picked out 3 die sets. I've picked out pattern paper, a stamp set, ink, foil, the whole lot. So I want to make a card. Hey Linda, very early. So if you want to purchase this magnetic plate or any of the products I use today, I do have a link in the description box to my shop, and you can purchase those products. And if you are watching me for the first time, second time, third time, and you haven't subscribed to my Facebook page, or more importantly my YouTube channel, please do, because that helps you see more of my videos. And if you share my videos or make a comment, it shares my videos with others to discover me. Now I'm pre-real, I don't know airs and graces here, sometimes on the verge of saying not so very nice words when things don't go right, but that's okay. I'm real, and I do real-time crafting. I don't speed up my videos. I show them to you warts and all. I also don't edit. That is sometimes due down to time constraints, but I want to show you how things really are. So without any further ado to that, unless anyone has any major questions, I'm going to get up my second screen here, and we're going to play with the magnetic plate. And I've got all this stuff in front of me and I've got to find somewhere for it, but just let me get up this screen first. Whoop. Okay, right, so hey Kel, hey Wendy, hey Linda, hey Maria. Anyone joining? There are 12 of you here, and 12 of you haven't said hello. There are 13 now. So please say hello so I know you're here, because I know I'm going on at a very different time to normal. So there are a lot of people that wouldn't normally see me. So please say hi. I'd like to know who's popping in at this time. So I think I am now ready to flip around and we can get started using the magnetic plate. Hey Jacqueline, thanks for joining. I hope everyone is well, and those of you in Australia have had the most beautiful spring day like I have, because it has been. Oh, hey Leanne, you have caught me live. I wanted to do my first play with the Stampin' Cut and with the magnetic plate live. So that's magnetic plate, and I want to do it live, and I do just need, oops, that's not what I wanted, but I will flick you back in 1 second. There we go. Now we're in the right orientation. Everything's right. I think I'm straight. We'll check in a sec. I'll turn off my overhead light. Hello, Miss Leanne. Nice to see some different people. maybe I should change things up a bit more often. I know. Oh, and hay fever. I'm so sorry to hear that, Wendy. My garden is in full bloom. I've got lavenders blooming. My ground covers are blooming. Sorry, my second screen has decided to... Oh, no, that is not straight in any way, shape or form. That should be a bit better. Let's see. Okay, we are up and running. I'm just waiting to see. Oh, awesome. Yes, I know. So, this is just the same width. And I do have them hanging around here somewhere while I'm checking my screens. Oh, my dear word. I am really, really crooked. I'm trying to look through my screen while it's half obscured under my cupboards. So, this magnetic plate is exactly the same size and width as our clear plate. So basically in our sandwich we don't use, and I'll show you my one that I have cut, I won't be using my cutting plate, I'll be using my magnetic plate. So, oh, you love yours, Janelle. Did you receive yours today or yesterday? I can now sit down that I can see. I'm sorry for showing my belly in there. Look, I've lost a lot of weight, but I won't say I'm at supermodel weight, nor shall I ever be. Hey, Margie. Okay, who else have I got? I know you can still see, but I like to have a framed straight. Okay, so this is my top plate that I just have impressions on. So how our sandwich is going to look, and I'm going to do a bit of cutting, and then I'm going to come back and do some other cutting. So we're going to keep the sandwich very, very similar, and I do have, if I can find, I'll find the piece of paper in a second because it's under the plates. Okay, so the instructions: cut, place die cutting edge down. So it tells me I need plate 1, which is and this plate is called just our base plate. This isn't a cutting surface, this is our base plate. Then it says we need number 2 plate, which is our thin die plate because we're using thin dies. And then we need number 5. And number 5 is our magnetic sheet. It is a bit weighty, but the thing I love about it compared to the previous X machine that no longer exists, this whole surface is magnetic. The other magnetic plate was this full width, or the full width of the 2 white ones together, 1 and 2, and it had magnetics, like little round ones, all the way along. So if you used a tiny die, like I will later, it jumped around. So I'm hoping the little die won't jump around. So I'm starting off with my very intricate stitched lace die. Now the surface of this says it is self-healing. Okay, I'm gonna have to be scrolling down. Friday. Oh, I am so jealous, Janelle, that you got yours on Friday. Oh, you just ordered your new machine, Michelle. You will love it. So my instructions, because you never know, you know I never call them instructions. Place cutting edge down. So I'm going to be cutting this piece in cherry cobbler, and I'm going to line this up so I can line up the edge nice and straight. And I'm hoping you heard that magnetic clip, that it just went Hey Miss Jamie, trying out my new full magnetic plate that's exactly the same width as this plate. So this is a very intricate die. Oh, haha, very intricate die. Need a bit of muscles to get that one started. Okay, that wasn't as bad as what I thought. Okay, right. Now, I think I'm going to need my little spatula, my friend who I already had out. And just, now remember, this is a self-healing mat, so it is going to leave impressions, and that's okay. That's what it's designed to do. I have got a beautiful cut in one pass using that. That is amazing. Stunning, stunning cut. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see that all those bits have cut out. Now I'm going to leave it in the plate and use my take your pick brush to get all those out in a sec. I am just going to remove all these little bits off the plate, because that's what you do to care for any of your plates. I do the same thing with my clear plates. Sorry if I'm a bit far away. My bin's just a bit far away at the moment. So we want to see the cutting, but it's like any self-healing mat. It is going to, you are going to see all those blemishes, and that's what gives it the amazing cut. So next, I want to use the Sounds of the Season set. I want to cut this little one because it embosses and cuts. So I'm using I'm using like 3 different dies to really set it through its paces. I'm happy to enable, Wendy. I found putting a silica mat under... that is a really, especially because I've got it on this piece of paper. That is actually a really good tip, Janelle. Thank you so much for that. Did you just use this square one? This Stampin' Up square one? Oh, because it was just that die creates a lot of pressure. Oh, look at that. That doesn't move anywhere. Another use for our silica mat. Oh, I've got a couple of these silica mats. That's awesome. Thank you for that tip, Janelle. Yeah, well, Stampin' Up sell one, and I have one, so I'm going to use it, Jamie. Okay, so what I've grabbed out to use with these dies, I've grabbed out our brushed metallic foil, and I think I actually want to use our bronze, because the colours, I think the bronze is going to look good, and I want to do the little one in the brass. Now this is brushed and the brass is mirror, and I have little bits here which already have adhesive sheet on the back. These are left over. So let's open this up. Now, I always had an issue with little dies like this one, because when I put them on the old sheet that had magnetic, like round magnets dotted through and wasn't one whole magnetic sheet, it would bounce around. But I put that down and it didn't move. Same with this one. Tick, tick, tick. That's good. Sorry, I'm just going to pop some stuff over here. So this down, die down, and then I'm going to grab my brass sheet. Oh, look, I have a little teeny off cut. That is perfect. So hopefully you can see the difference between the brush and the mirror. So this is the brushed metallic foil in the holiday catalog, or in the mini catalog, and this is the brass, which is in the main catalog. Okay, yes, I know, I'm really surprised the small one works. Hello, Miss Renee. Thank you for joining. We're just playing with the magnetic mat. Oh my God, look at that. That magnetic sheet works wonders. Okay, so what I want to do now, because I'm going to do some stamping before I bring this back up and use it again, I'm just going to take these, take these babies off. Just going to crank this back through and just pop it on the ground. Loving the silicone sheet tip, Janelle. So glad you were here live to give me that. Oh, now that turned out beautifully, and that just pops out. So that has cut and embossed at the same time. Okay, brass foil away, this scrap away. Look, we're trying to keep tidy here, girls. Who am I and what have I done with Ella? Maybe it's the later time frame. Don't know. Okay, I may, can I fit another one there, because I am rather fond of this die. I can fit another one there, so that can go in with my brass. That can go in there, and I shall use that again. Now, dies can go back on their sheet and back in their folder. Thank you, Miss Jamie. Once again, I think I'll be thanking you forever for helping me create my custom folders for my magnetic sheets, because I love them so. Okay, that's in there. Now, what the stamp set I have picked out is one that has carried over from last season, which is Christmas Gleaming. And I'm going to use Deck the Halls with Boughs of Holly. I would have thought I needed a bigger mat too, Jamie. Don't you worry, that size is perfect. The Big Shot magnetic plate was super annoying. It was super annoying. I know. I am keen for that too, Jamie. Sorry, I've obviously just, it doesn't matter. You know I appreciate my amazing friends and helpers, and I will sing your praises as long as we are friends. So I have here Garden Green, and I'm going to, and I've got a scrap of Whisper White. You guys have no idea this card I have planned, because I've got it like pre-planned in my head, but I'm going about it in a very different way, because I want to showcase this mat while I'm making the card and do all different things. So as always, stamp off. See how it's stamping to start off with. Oh, I love the mixed fonts on this. Hold it there for a few seconds for the ink to transfer. Beautiful, lovely stamped image. Now, you guys are not going to be surprised by what I am missing. No, they're hiding. Just need to close this ink pad. Can you put the mini? Yes, you can put the mini embossing folders through the large machine. You cannot put the large embossing folders through the mini machine. The mini machine isn't available just yet, Michelle. It will be available, they're saying, at this stage before Christmas, or before the end of the year. I have never been able to create in chaos. Never. Okay, there we go. Stitch rectangles, particularly this one just here. Now, I don't know if I will need another stitch rectangle. I've made a basic plan. So we are going to bring back in the machine. So silicone matte first, and this is our Stampin' Up! Silicone matte. Bring our machine back, not moving an inch. Okay. Sorry, question. Can you just leave the magnetic mat in there and use with embossing folders too? Actually, you get... No. Oh, it depends on which embossing folders, Jamie. With our non-Stampin' Up! Old style Sizzix embossing folders, yes. With our Stampin' Up! Produced embossing folders, and I just had the mat here and I've put it somewhere, you've got to use the grey specialty mat. Literally, I just had it here. So with our newer embossing folders, we need to use the grey specialty mat because it is thicker than one of these. But with the Stampin' Up! Produced Sizzix ones, you can use this and that or two of those. So, but it doesn't really make that much of a difference. I am going to do a separate video to about embossing folders very soon. It is, sorry girls, I just need to, yep, everyone knew that was going to happen. That is straight. Now let's see if that moves, because this is the kind of die as well that will jump around on the old magnetic mat. Oh, now I still just want to pop my hand there. Okay, if you can hear my husband going cross, I have a very, very tired son who appears to have no patience at the moment. Okay, that has come out beautifully. I'll show you that in a sec. So we have tested an intricate die. We have tested teeny dies in the our teeny bell, and we have tested lining up dies or stamping and then using a frame die. So I will show you up nice and close before we finish up our card the impressions. So I've run that through 3 times. I can see all the impressions, but it's still got great integrity, and it is actually weighty. As long as you mess for the same thing in the machine, thank you. Could you not use the grey mat with the magnetic mat though? Yeah, you could actually, Jamie. No, because I'm going to have to research and think about that. My brain is right here, but I will do a video after I've done some testing, because we haven't quite. Why am I putting that back in? I'm finished. This is now going nice. Say night, Clem, and pop my silicone mat away. Thank you, Janelle, for that. My plates can go over here. Right, now we can have a look at this. I'll pop this on the back of my hand. You can see that did not move an inch in the cutting. And what I will do, because we don't want to lose any dies, I'm going to pop that straight back in here. These are must-have die set. Use it all the time. 4 sentiments to frame images. Beautiful. And I haven't done half the things I want to do with this set. I just seem to keep it very, very basic. Now I want to see how this ejects. So grab my piece of foam, oops, use the other side, piece of foam, take your pick tool with die brush, and I'm going to put it paper side down, and I'm just going to liberally run this over, because this should eject majority of the paper pieces. Now I am not pressing hard with this at all. I'm literally just running it over, keeping an eye on the time as well. You're very impressed I had a pre-planned card. So look at that. I reckon every one of those pieces came out. I am thoroughly impressed. Whoops. Now I'm going to try and very carefully, without getting lots of red pieces all over my floor, tap that into my recycling bin. I got majority of them off. I'm going to have to do a bit more work, but that's okay. Now, what I do now, I've just got my paper piercing piece, and I'm just going to grab a corner and literally and very carefully just pull this up. Okay, and this will eject any missing pieces. I do not have one piece to eject manually. That has never happened with this die. Oh my God, so impressed. Betty by Clem, that's right. I know, clean. Oh, love the machine, love the die plate. Oh my God. Sorry, get very excited because however much I always loved this stitch lace die, I was always there going, oh, but it's so hard to eject all the pieces with my Big Shop machine. But now, amazeballs. Okay, pop this away in an effort to keep things neat and tidy here. Wendy, you need to come over virtually more often and keep me all on track. Right, die cutting done. So we've used 3 sets. Stitch lace, sounds of the season, stitched rectangle. Can you see a theme? I like things that are stitched and embossed, but that's okay. Now, the paper I have chosen is the 6x6 'Tis the Season paper. I chose something very generic, and this is garden green, which is why I chose a garden green. Got candy canes on the back, and I will do a quick flick. Now, I have been suitably informed that my pencil cases that I got from the reject shop have reappeared back in the reject shop in country Queensland. So these should be available. So this 'Tis the Season paper, I'll do a bit of a flick through. You've got some nice generic pieces, holly boughs, you've got some reindeer, holly, different holly, some plaid, bells, trees. This paper really brings together the whole of the mini catalogue with its motifs. So I have, this was an offcut already. I have got a card opening the correct way. Took my offcut, cut it down. It is a bit long. You'll be here till, I know, I would have been here till Christmas. There is Clem, the L in Clem doesn't stand for anything, Margie. It's just the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is a lot to say. So I named mine Clem. I know, bugger the virtual bit. That's exactly right. You're exactly right. Oh, thank you for answering that, Jamie. That's amazing. So I'm just deciding, I think this just in the middle here is going to be perfect. So I know this piece of paper is too long. I'm just going to start gluing. Just going to start gluing. Look at that, my glue's working first time round. I gave it a good clean yesterday on the weekend while I'm assembling this. Now we're not talking about, well, we are still talking about how amazing the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine is and the magnetic plate. I made like 20 thank you cards on the weekend. I already have a whole lot in a bag ready to go to the post. My August thank you cards for my customers and my team who participate in my team swap. So I have them ready to go. We've got some late runners in our team swap because of COVID. I had an order to one of my Victorian girls take a month to arrive with all her new supplies. So she has only, oh, there's one piece right there. Okay, that's out. That just dropped out quite nicely. Oh, that was a bit too much. She has got that in the post to me, and I will then send those back. So I will eagerly await and see if Australia Post is slightly quicker in sending them to me. And I've got another couple of pieces. Seriously, out of all of that, there are only 3 pieces that haven't ejected. That's amazing. So very light on with that. And okay, now this may be a titch short, but I can deal with that, and rather than keep on petting this down, I am going, and I know I just knocked you all, this is our super huge F block, and I use it quite often for these exact things. Oh, see, I can't call it George, Jacqueline, because my my dad's name is George. I know, but this is my rouge top. It is more pink. But this is just what I wore to work because it was so comfortable wearing it the other day. I thought I'd pop it on again. Hey, Joes, how are you? Oh, I know. And even if the card's a bit short, no one will ever know. Okay. I've got to trim it anyway, so we'll see what it's like. Yeah, those sides are a bit up. But do you know what? Oh, it's crooked. It's crooked. Crooked, crooked, crooked. Okay, we're going to re-glue. This is what happens. I could have used an adhesive sheet. I didn't know how this would go down pretty much, so I didn't want to use an adhesive sheet. Now I'm really going to put some glue on these edges now that I know they were just curling a titch. Okay, that should be enough, and we will do a take 2. I'm thinking I may want a larger piece for this, and I will play with this in just a second. It's not quite right. Now it doesn't have to be centered, but that was like, oh! Oh, David just walked into the open door, scared the crapola out of us. Pardon?
Are you still going?
Yes, I am still going. Can you just put my dinner in the oven to keep warm?
Okay.
Because it's way too early. I wanted it for 6.
Okay.
So hopefully my yummy piece of fish looked rather scrumptious can stay warm in the oven. Okay, so I can play with the placement of all of these things. I'm just thinking this piece is a little small because I kind of want to, do you know, I could pop this like over this piece. It has to go over on this side. I love that I can still play with my layout while that's all adhering. That there, this there, but I feel it's going to need a piece of vellum, girls. You knew that was coming, didn't you? You knew the vellum was coming. Okay, vellum, vellum, vellum. I don't know that I have a scrap. Oh, I do. I've got a couple of good size scraps here. Now, I don't know whether I will cut the vellum or I'm going to grab out those dies again, and Clem may have to wake up very quickly. I know. Of course it needs vellum. Exactly. I'm so glad you know me. Well, it's clear. Like, it looks great. It's just, it needs a slightly bigger piece to ground it. So, what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave all these pieces in here. Do you know what? These pieces are all a bit too rectangle. Although, I need to really take them out. Can't even pick it up. Oh my dear word. And I just dropped it on the ground. Oh, 10 points for me. What's a video without me dropping stuff on the ground? I really like the look of that, actually. That's actually quite classy. Okay, now that that's nice and dry, or at least drier than what it would be. Yes, I like that. With that in between, yes, perfect. And you'll still be able to see the detail in the stitch lace. I'm loving this card. Okay, we need to get Clem out again. We will not need our F block, so it can go away back there. This will be great. And now this die actually is warped. Oh, no, they're both there. This die is warped. So let's see how this die goes. Silicone mat. Clem. Wake up, Clem. And so let's see how this adheres or magnetizes to the thing. So once again, base plate, thin die adapter, magnetic plate. Here. Okay. That ain't really going anywhere. I can see it's warped, but it's not wanting to jump around. I have my specialty plate on the bottom. They're going, that's not going to go through. And with all that moving, that die actually hasn't moved an inch. So that's pretty good. I'm happy with that. I'm just putting my hand here just as a hold. I'm not actually like holding on. It's more just for stability. Okay. And now you can see this is totally magnetized. Where is my spatula? You can use a pair of scissors. I just have a spatula here. Okay, that needs to go in the bin because we can't recycle vellum. If only we could. I know Clem is very easy to handle. He's a very obedient man in my house, unlike some. Hey Myrtle, thanks for joining. Love the blog tip. If you can have hate embossed, use vellum. Sorry, just arrived. Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Suki, well, what does Denise calls it the boss. So everyone's going to have their name for it. Okay, perfect. This. Where do I put the dies? The dies are here. Whoops. Pop this back. I love it. Just appeases me having them all like this. Even though this die is the odd one out, it does coordinate very nicely with many of the other dies. Okay, this away. Pop that glue dot down. Right, so I'm going to use an extremely light amount of this. By light I mean really light, because wet glue makes vellum buckle. Buddy, I like the name Buddy, Margie. Yes, that's exactly why Denise called him the boss. Oops, bit of glue on the finger. Jamie's there going, not the glue. Oh dear, I did want to put this just under there. Hold on, hold on. Dot of glue on this and we shall slide that under. Dot of glue and we will slide this under. That, and that just needs to go over a titch. That's under there. That is pretty great. I'm really happy with that, and I'm just going to use a smaller block. Now for this I'm going to have to grab back my die brush because this is actually got the adhesive sheet, so I just need to get the corner of this adhesive sheet. Can you hear the concentration? There we go. Let's see if I can actually pick this up, because apparently I can't. Yes, I can. That can stay on there. Where's my dish? I did have my dish. My dish is gone. If you were my dish, you'd be over there. Totally not where you're meant to live. My dish comes in handy. Okay. And this can go just, yeah. Just wiggle it down a titch. Oh, I like that. And that sentiment is totally not straight, but dimensionals for the back. Pop it on. I might do my trimming before I pop this on actually. Trim, trim, trim. And we will use our handy dandy mini trimmer and see how we go. Okay. That, oh, perfect. Just like I bought one. And that piece of cherry cobbler was absolutely the perfect height. I love how traditional this looks. We haven't done anything, I don't feel, too special. It's just textures together. Oh, that lifted up, perfect. Okay, need to find the end of this right here. And my scissors, because they are my hands. my scissors. Apparently I need to stand up. So one can go here. So these are all going to be hidden behind the cardstock. So we're not seeing any extra adhesive. And I might even put a mini glue dot up here. No. I can just put one of those right there and just put another one here and we're all good. Well, we're amazing anyway. I just want to put one there. I know I'm going a bit overkill, but just appeases my brain. Thank you, Jamie. Ah, that's a good idea. Yes, they do, but they're in a set, Lorraine. Let me grab them. They are called Stitched Shapes. I'll grab them here for you to look at. Sorry, they're called Stitch Shapes, Lorraine. And you get ovals, squares, and circles. Sorry, these have totally had a moment somewhere. So Lorraine, does that help? And look at that. I could get my little, oh, I've put some extras in the back. Some white blanks in the back. Yeah, there you go. So hopefully that helps you, Lorraine. This is one of my most used sets. I love it because I've got the option of having the 3 shapes and 4 dies in each shape. Now girls, I have a bit of a, I am going for a sales goal, and I didn't say it at the start of the video, and I should have, but I am trying to reach a sales goal by the end of September, which is in about 20 through 22 days, and I need to sell $1,500 worth of product. I am going to be offering some BOGO items. So I have a lot of retired items. So to the retail value of those items, whatever you buy, you can choose the retail value of those items. So that is what I'm doing to try and get my sales goal, which is a huge deal for me. This is not discontinued. This is current and it's $50. I would not show, I don't use discontinued items except for me using the old die cutting machine. So that's our card, using 3 different dies to show you now the dies that we've used. Stitch rectangles, we have used stitch lace, very intricate dies, and we have used Sounds of the Season. So I'm going to try and fan them out a bit so you can see. The paper I have used is 'Tis the Season, and we have been showcasing the magnetic plate for the Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine, and we created this amazing card in the process. The vellum, vellum is always the answer, Jamie. Now, I do have these offcuts that I will pop on the inside of the card to jazz it up. Sorry, I forgot to do it, but what I will do is just pop these 2 pieces just like that to jazz up the inside of the card. So that is our finished and completed card. I'm so glad you thought that was a great demo of the magnetic plate. I did want to show you. Oh, and I did forget, we used the Christmas gleaming stamp set. So there you go. Thank you girls so much. I'm even going to pop this all over a bit. Thank you girls so much for joining me this evening. I know it was an odd time, but I wanted to do the first look and first play with you, and I couldn't wait till tomorrow. I will be back as normal tomorrow making a card, and I still haven't decided what I'll be making tomorrow, so you'll have to check back in about 10 o'clock tomorrow and I will give you a sneak peek of what I am using. Thank you so much, and if you want to buy any of these products, or these products are available, please use my shop now button and you will receive some perks this month. My absolute pleasure, guys. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to go off and enjoy my dinner because I leave for karate in 15 minutes. So I'll go and quickly eat that and then take the child to karate. So have a great evening. I'll see you guys later. Bye.